Delaney packs a lot of power. The power to teach, the power to reveal, the power to tell through sight and sound. The projector is a tool, an efficient, rugged, easy to use tool. But the proof is in the running. So, swing out the folding reel arms, fasten the drive belts, and it's ready to thread.
Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. Well, each of us is different from the day we're born. No two people are exactly alike. Then at puberty, certain glands begin to work, and our bodies begin to change.
When I was in kindergarten, I used to have this friend, and basically we would take our shirts off, and she would wrap this. My mom had a belt that was made of like gold chains linked together, and she would wrap it around me and kind of pull me around, and then sometimes she would stick me in a closet, which sounds really awful, but I don't know, I was always like excited by it because I always pictured myself as like this captured princess, and she was like this person that I was like their like love slave to. And this is when I was in kindergarten. I don't think I quite thought of it like that, but I remember it being very erotic and like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like we played the game in that she was pretending to be Jabba the Hutt and I was Princess Leia that was captured, and I had to like kiss her or something like that. Anyway, so we'd like take our shirts off, and she'd drag me around with this belt, and then put me in a closet, and I would like, I don't know. That's the end of my story.
I was just staying in a hostel there, and I went to this like, I found out online like a gay sauna, basically, and like it was funny because online it looked super like, I mean websites can make it look like anything. It looked like super schwanky, and like it was like couples night, get it free. So it felt like it was really like, I don't know, like high class or something, really silly. But I ended up going, and it was called Four Spades, and I knew that was not the way it was at all. By the time I got to the front door, it was just like there was a door to open, and then there was like a waiting area for you to like ring a doorbell, and then they would let you into a place where you could pay, but the whole time you could hear like the oomps, oomps, oomps like behind the door. And it was my first experience with that kind of place, so I didn't understand if there was like there was like etiquette or a set of rules to go by. So I was just kind of in there and like wearing my towel awkwardly, just like walking around, and I didn't understand like how people initiated hookups in these spaces, because it was so slow. Like, I remember being in this jacuzzi with this guy, and it was like the whole purpose was to make it look like we weren't horny and wanting to fuck. And so I remember it was just so funny. I remember being in a jacuzzi and like my foot like slowly inching towards his foot, but obviously we were both just there to fuck. Like we should have just started fucking at that point, but there still had to be this weird lead up, you know? So I think I broke etiquette also when like I was basically just having sex with two guys. One was like giving me head, and the other was like fingering me or something. And I just like it was not gonna happen. Like it just was not. There was no way anyone was gonna get off. So I just had to leave the situation, and I didn't know how. Also, there was a language barrier. So I think at one point I just like both took their faces and just like pushed them away because I just didn't know what to do. But at that moment, this sounds really funny, like a Prince Charming moment, but at that moment I saw this guy across the room and I was like, you. He was like,
I was visiting my sister in Ireland maybe about a year ago, and I was introduced to her boyfriend's good friend who runs an inn and a restaurant in a very small town there. I, not having an international phone, was unable to give any of my information to him, but I later found out that he had called his good friend asking where I was staying and if I was staying with my sister. And I later heard tapping on the window, and he had driven all the way out to come see me. I ended up sneaking out and spending the night with him in his inn, and he has many, many empty rooms, and I think I saw the ceilings of most of them. The next morning, we pulled up, and my mom had woken up late. She always does when she's in Ireland. And I had just told her that he had picked me up early and we'd gone out to breakfast. And she believed me.
After having sex with my ex-partner, every night I would pee on him in the shower, and he never knew, or I thought he never knew because it was warm like the rest of the shower. But then a year later, after we had broken up, he told me that he knew all along. I lost my virginity to a Pellegrino bottle. From the first person I was ever with, and we were 16 and didn't have sex toys. And so we looked around our room for something to penetrate with, and an empty Pellegrino bottle was the only thing we could find. And so we put a textured condom on it and went to town. And we went back and forth forever.
So I had this 7th grade math teacher named Mr. Caparini. He was like the coolest math teacher. Everybody loved him. He always made math really fun. Everyone really hates math in middle school, so that was kind of a big deal. He always made the kids laugh. He was really sweet, but he was, really, really old, and not like someone that I would find attractive now. And so like in 12th grade, I think this was like way after this math class, and like sometime in high school, I had this really weird dream that, and this is way after I had even thought about Mr. Caparini in years, that I was in 7th grade, and it was like my 7th grade self, and I got called into his class for some reason to study after school or do better work, correct a math test, something like that. And this is a dream. And I walked into his classroom, and there he was standing, not in his typical, khaki pants and funny tie, but in this tight spandex red devil costume, complete with plastic horns and a little plastic, devil pitchfork, but just looking at me in this really sexual kind of mysterious way. And this is this math teacher who I wasn't even very good at math, so I had never really had these types of feelings for him at all, but there he was in his like naughty devil costume, and we had just like proceeded to have sex, like me in my like 7th grade form proceeded to have sex with my 7th grade math teacher right there in the classroom. And it was just like, when I woke up, I, couldn't tell anyone because, someone would have thought that something like went on between us in 7th grade. And it was just like probably one of the strangest dreams and I can still picture him in his red spandex devil outfit.
In 7th grade, when I first made out with this one girl, and no, it was my first kiss. We waited after school, and we walked to the corner store and bought gum. So, because that's what I thought, your breath had to be clean, And then we waited and like hung out at the playground outside the school, and then we went down into this ditch between the wall and the pine trees, and then we started making out. And I remember her tongue being like that being like a really weird sensation, and that being really like fleshy and like really wet, and like I still remember that like feeling of like that first other person's tongue.
One erotic memory I have is when I first realized that home for me wasn't actually a place. It kind of is actually like a moment. It's whenever I realized it was whenever like my skin touched the skin of the person I'm in love with, and I don't know.
So this one time I had a dream, and I'm straight, but it was a lesbian threesome dream with my 2 friends, and this one friend who has her nipples pierced, and she's like kind of has sex like a man. She was this dominatrix, and she was in like this black leather and latex, and then my other friend was like in this little like peasant blouse top, and like my friend Vanessa was the dominatrix, was telling my friend Callie to do stuff to me, and I was just lying on the ground with this like Little Red Riding Hood cape on and nothing else, and it was a really nice dream. It was very pleasurable. So I woke up and I'm like, I think I'm a little bi-curious.
I spent a lot of my adolescent or like pubescent adolescence like on the internet, and I didn't like porn sites because they always like freaked me out, so I would like look up like really bad erotica that people had written, and like all of it was like so bad and like so dramatic and so badly written. But there was this one story about this like a lawyer and her like assistant who like would like eat her out without her like permission, and then like at the end they ended up like having like a really great strap-on sex in a hotel, and I would like pretty regularly get off to that.
I want to eat strawberries and dip them in chocolate, and I want the juice from the strawberries to drip all down my face and over my breast and nipples, and I want you to lick up all of the juice until there is no more, and grab the stem with your teeth from out of my teeth and throw it away.
Funny because online it looked super like me websites.
When I was in kindergarten, I used to have this friend.
It was like couples night getting free, so I felt like it was really like
Basically,
but I ended up going.
So I had this
Having
7th
sex with
grade
my
math
ex-partner,
teacher named Mr.
every
Caparini.
night we would
He was like the
I would
coolest
pee
math
on
teacher.
his
Everybody loved
in the
him.
shower, and he never knew.
He always made
Or I
math
thought
super
he
fun.
never knew.
Everyone loved
He
his
was
math.
warm like the rest of the
So that was kind of a big deal.
But then a year later, after we had